Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with Matt, Adam, Brian, Doug, and Freddie, where they discuss everything that matters in today's fire service. Now let's get to the show.
It's our topic, Brian.
You, sir, are leading the way.
Over again. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is, and still is, the Cool Fireman Podcast. Not because we're cool. Told you a million times. We aspire to be the cool firemans. You got Brian and you got Adam. Doug is off playing with giraffes in the African safari. I heard that a rhino attacked him. Is that true?
Yeah. He called me from his satellite phone, his farm satellite phone, and it came after him. It hit the little the Jeep they're in. It kind of hit it. Yeah. It popped the tire, but they were able to keep going until they were able to get to their giant tree house thing that they said overnight.
Dude,
Freddie was going to join us tonight.
Unbelievable, dude.
Freddie was going to join us tonight, but he's paying for upgraded internet. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, Freddie doesn't have enough cores. Riverside told him that he doesn't have enough cores in his computer to do the podcast anymore. That is 100% the truth. Hey, welcome back. Bus. If you were listening to this when we drop it, it is Friday morning, and happy Friday morning. Happy end of the week to you. Happy end of the week to you. And if you are watching on Spotify or YouTube, you see my amazing hairdo. Yep. Over again. We're having fun tonight, folks. You know what I mean? Like, we just clicked record. We have no idea what we're talking about. This is the Cool Fireman Podcast, and this is episode 128. Okay, we're gonna have fun. Yeah, Adam's over there drinking. What is that? Windex.
It's a fabric calm. It's lavender and vanilla flavor.
Yeah,
flavor.
We're an absolute mess. But no, for reals. We want to talk about a little bit of we call it community risk reduction. Actually, no, not we. Brian calls it community risk reduction because he's the big fire marshal now. Okay. But what we're going to call it is, how do you get out into your communities and talk to your customers? Is it just at what is going on right now?
He wants to talk about it so bad because he missed out on Fire Prevention Week.
I did not.
He was forced to stay in his office instead of being the one going out there and do fire marshal business.
I did some engine visits with the guys to a school. Remember, I showed you the little visit that we made. It was pretty good. Now, I was laughing at Adam. If you're not watching, he pretended to take a little drink, and he may have got a little bit on his lip, and it was. You could tell that did not taste good at all, did it, Adam? No, it did not.
It tastes kind of good, though. Vanilla.
We've lost.
I don't like lavender. All right. So, anyways, the community.
You're gonna be real sleepy. Lavender is a natural sleeper. It's like a roofie. You just roofied yourself. All right, let's get back on track. So yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit of community risk reduction. We're going to talk about how you get into your community. We do a lot of cool things in my department where we explain to our community, our customers, some cool stuff throughout the year. We have a lot of fun. But before that, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Hello. The Cool Fireman Podcast here is sponsored by Unky's Seasoning. We love Unky's Seasoning. I use it every day. I use it every day. Yeah, I just got some more in the mails with a nice little note for my BFF.
What?
Oh, hearts to my BFF. There it is. Yeah, I got a little love note from the creator of Unky's Seasoning. Oh, oh my gosh! No, you can't do that. That's like the sign of the devil or something. They're doing some
Brian.
wacky
Brian's
stuff.
For people who can't see,
so
Brian's giving the devil's horns.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Go to unkyseasoning.com and here's your promo.
From the firehouse to your house, Unky's Seasoning packs bold, Firehouse tested flavor into every meal. Whether you're grilling, roasting, or just sprinkling it on your favorite snacks, our blends turn everyday eats into unforgettable bites. Pick your flavor, shake it on, and taste why it's Firehouse approved. Go to unkyseasoning.com.
Oh my God, we love Unky's. You are the man. Ow! I just turned into a wolf. Okay, and Tom with the burn box. I just got my burn box, got my light, my t-shirts, everything that was in what is the month? I don't even know what month it is. October?
October.
Yep, Octubre in Spanish. And so this is the month of Halloween. So I hope that you're all decorated and everything. But yeah, here's a promo from Tom from the Bird Box.
Brought to you by the Burn Box, the #1 firefighter subscription box. The Burn Box celebrates firefighter products and firefighter-owned and operated businesses. Start today and receive a monthly box of firefighter apparel, gear, and tools. Check them out at theburnbox.com.
I love Burn Box. Burn Box loves me. And FD Collectors Club. Don't forget FD Collectors Club. If you love your challenge coins, whip one out whip it out. Whip out a big challenge coin at the bar, and everybody owes you a beer that doesn't have their challenge coin. Did you know that's how it works?
Yep.
And if you're Adam, then you get like a Monster or like a Red Bull.
Yeah.
Or a club soda with a lime.
Brian loves the club soda with a lime. Yeah. Let's do a moment of silence. We're going to get serious for a second here, folks. Okay. Here at the Cool Fireman Podcast, episode 128. Let's do a moment of silence. And I don't know, this just popped into my brain too. And this is just in correlation. It has nothing to do with it, but it's like, I always want to mention Kenny Mitchell, man, one of our biggest advocates, one of our biggest fans. He listens to every podcast. He shoots us a voice message on Friday morning, and it's so much fun. I absolutely love that guy, and we always thank him for doing Operation Yellow Tape. Help me out with the slogan, boys. There's too many of us to ever feel alone. Yeah, and that couldn't be more true. So that does kind of work into our moment of silence. We've lost way too many brothers and sisters. Way too many. He just finished his Operation Yellow Tape number 4. And he already has a date for number 5. And I don't have it off the top of my brain, but I think it's October 2nd. Gosh darn it. I don't know exactly, but it's sometime around that first week, October. So sign up and get yourself into the Operation Yellow Tape. We love you, Kenny. But here's a moment of silence for anybody that we might have lost over the past week. Our brothers and sisters, I'm sure we've lost some. I don't have any that are near and dear to me. But here's in remembrance. Here's to all of our thoughts and prayers go to the moment of silence.
Well said.
Did you just beat me to my own game?
He did.
Did you just beat me to my own game? Huh?
He did.
Well said. Well said. Okay. Doug's still working on merch. That'll be sometime around 2032 is when we should have some merchandise. Merch is short for merchandise. Okay. We're working on it. Working real hard round the clock. We're going to have mugs, the whole thing. All right. Anything else for housekeeping, boys?
Is everybody taking their meds today?
I still haven't been. Meds? I have plenty of meds. I don't need any more meds. Did you guys all take your Tylenol today? Your acetaminophen?
Yes, the PM version.
Oh,
ibuprofen. Took my ibuprofen.
Wow, this is just a nightmare. All right. So, hey, everybody, we were like texting back and forth today. Hey, what do we want to talk about on the podcast? And my number one thought, and this is 100% honest truth, was we have a lot of either new firemen or wannabe firefighters. And it's like, what would they want to hear? And that's kind of, I don't know. That's just what I thought. And what came to my mind was community risk reduction, things that we're doing in the community to what's the word? Mitigate. What's the word? Mitigate risk. Yeah, sure. Mitigate. That's not the word I was looking for.
Go with mitigate.
We'll go with mitigate. Yeah. Brian always comes up with a good word. He's like a thesaurus. He's like the Cool Fireman Podcast thesaurus.
We'll go with that, but I don't know that that's right. But
I'm going to change your name to thesaurus. You're like a thesaurus Rex.
You really don't trust a Carolina person about pronunciation?
Pronunciation or enunciation?
Ooh, that is the question. To pronunciate or to enunciate? Yeah. Yeah.
That is a
All right.
thesaurus in action.
Hey, there's your call to action. Give us a proper definition of enunciation and pronunciation. How about that?
Enunciation is how you say it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, like potato. All right. Pronunciation is I don't know. Whatever. Let us know. Let us know what you find out, and then
Let's talk programs.
It'll be part of our snail mail for episode 129.
Let's just talk programs.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
I was going to say, here's how I started it. Today, we had 5 new employees start. And I had the blessing. Chief Hayes got tied up on something else. And so we do an orientation.
They had to hear you talk for like an hour.
No. So they, all the town department heads come in and kind of give an overview of their departments. And so we had 5 firefighters, because we're adding a new truck company in the town. So we had 5 new employees that started today. We had done some other shift move arounds, that kind of stuff. And then in some promotions. And then we had 1 police officer, attorney, and some other folks. But what I thought was really cool was we get the opportunity to kind of explain our mission, our vision, and communicate. But what I love is they do it for all departments. So when you talk about programs, what's cool is, and you talked about them coming in as a baseline for new employees, is it's really, I thought it was really neat the way that my department does it and my town does it, is that they're able to do that not only for the fire department, but across the entire town. So that way people understand the programs that they do and why they do it. So as we dive deeper into this, that would be another call to action that I would have is when you're new, or even for existing folks, how engaged are you in what, not only what your department does, but what other departments in your community or other agencies? So if like our volunteer departments, what's EMS doing? What's the sheriff's office doing? Or the town PD, if you're in a town and a volunteer department, but what are other groups that are doing to engage in your community as well as we talk about our programs?
Yeah. Hey, dude, I love that. I absolutely love that. You know, and the answer probably depends on how salty you are. You know what I mean? How many years you got on? How much salt you got on your brow there, folks, as to how much you really care about, you know, what's going on in your own department. Not only your department, but your town or your city, wherever you work. Well,
and you know, as we dive into some of these examples, why did I repeat that? Was that on repeat? But
it says, did we divulge the information that you started drinking Red Bull?
You're not supposed to tell anybody that.
Correlation? Maybe not.
Correlation? Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
We're trying to get Brian.
Maybe,
we're trying to get Brian to
not.
do some naughty sauce and drink like something. Okay, if he's not gonna drink alcohol, we need to get him on the energy.
I may have had a couple over the last couple of weeks. Okay, just stop. I don't want Megan to hear. If Megan hears that, she's going to hit me up on my inbox.
She doesn't listen to our podcast.
Megan, if you're listening and you heard that, don't come for me. All right. So, or my sister, because my sister listens.
She's going to be mad.
Lee listens and she's going to be mad. All right. So, squirrel. So what I was going to say was sometimes whenever you have a problem in your community, it's not your problem to solve, but it is your obligation to initiate a conversation. So when there's something happening in your community, and here's what I mean by that. Sometimes you just need to run the chain up or run it up the chain to start a conversation and help identify a problem that maybe another department that's responsible doesn't know exists. Adam, you're killing me, bro.
Yeah, Unky, stop.
Oh, sorry. I forgot about the microphone.
Everybody's like at home is like,
it's not
brain
me.
Shaking.
I promise it's not me. But yes, that's the thing. So let me give an example of that. Let's say you have a pedestrian safety where you have people that are getting hit in the crosswalk and you need to identify signage. It's not the fire department's job to install signage, but it is the job to notify them of saying, hey, we have a lot of pedestrian related incidents and we need help. And so those types of programs, maybe it's that you educate people about the dangers of improper walking along with the police department, but you're not installing the signage. But signage is just one step in that. Does that make sense?
I 100% agree. I don't know if it's our obligation or not. You know what I mean?
How can they fix a problem that they don't know exists unless you start the conversation?
And I love you for that. I absolutely love you for that. You know, because I think that's the department that goes above and beyond. You know what I mean? Like they recognize an issue.
I'm going to use your term. They're not rolling code 3 with you. The city streets department's not rolling code 3 with you with that pedestrian who's hit. So they don't know that number. They don't know the stats. They don't know the realization. They don't close their eyes and think about that person splattered in the middle of the street. You do. Yeah. They're not as passionate about it as you are. So that's why I said you have that obligation. You have that obligation based off of the fact of the family members and loved ones who may have lost their lives to advocate for them. You know, don't let it be in vain that they were hurt or injured to advocate for change on their behalf.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's my mindset on it. You know, is to engage those other stakeholders that, you know, don't know that there's a problem.
Yeah. And also have a stakehold in your own life. Okay. So when you're on vacation and your like mind is, you know, in the Tweety birds and you're like, oh my God, look at that. It's so great. And you're standing at a crosswalk and you're standing in the street, not even realizing where you are. You know, like be an advocate for your own life. All right. There's a little PSA. I know that we've got a lot of firemen that listen. We don't have very many civilians. I don't think that listen to our podcast, to be honest. So I'm kind of preaching to the choir. And I would imagine that all of our regular listeners are like, yeah, idiots. You know, like, I mean, I work in a vacation-y, like a vacation resort area, you know, so maybe it's a little bit different than just like a regular municipal city, but we you know, run a lot on tourists, and we have a lot of tourism in our city. And so it's just one thing that you brought up crosswalks. And then like the first thing that triggers in my mind are these people that stand at the crosswalk in the street waiting for the light to turn green. And we get like, we're in a big, you know, 40-foot fire engine that needs to make a tight turn. And it's like, get on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? Anyway, so.
Yeah.
But
so
CRNR.
Let's go back to that question that you asked. What are your departments doing for programs?
Yeah. We try to do a lot of stuff and we had a lot of things going. We had a community education committee. Community ed committee before COVID. And so a lot of those programs have kind of ceased, but they're kind of slowly coming back. We've vowed to our high school that all incoming freshmen are to learn CPR and first aid. So they're going to learn, you know, like basic first aid, put a Band-Aid on, how to stop bleed. And then CPR, you know, hands only CPR, layman CPR, nothing crazy. They're not feeling for pulses. They're not learning how to use a bag valve mask, nothing. They're just literally learning how to do hands only CPR, which saves lives. It's been researched. American Heart
Association.
Better than nothing. Absolutely.
And keeps the blood flow going, right?
Hands only CPR is huge. And they're learning how to use an AED because they have AEDs. And so that's one of the projects that we have going in town, which is we're super proud of. And it's already actually done wonders. You know, I mean, they don't even have to be at school, right? All these kids. So basically, they're 14 years old. They come in as a freshman to Laguna Beach High School, and they learn how to do CPR. And then they go home, and grandma, you know, right on the ground. It's like they know what to do. So it's not only helping at school, but I mean, it's in their daily life, which is nice.
So, Matt, can I ask you a question? No. How are you guys? And you may not know the answer to this unless you're on that team. So bear with me when I ask that question. How are you measuring that completion? And then have you guys discussed how you will measure the success? Is it just completing all the trainings, or are you looking for saves in the community by those people?
No. With a ruler, then a yardstick.
I wish I had my chief on, because he would be great on this podcast, by the way. He's a huge advocate of us. But I think the answer would be that, just giving high quality coaching, high quality classroom time to CPR and first aid and AED to these kids is enough. Like, we're not going to sit here and count how many times kids did CPR because it's going to be very little, right? I would imagine. I'm trying to think back to a call that I went on at the high school.
Right?
Well, because we're going to be the ones that run the call. I mean,
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Like, I mean, like for the bystander, are you asking for their name or are you just getting a PCR? Because you're trying to make sure that you can do all the interventions. So if you have a bystander doing CPR, the likelihood of you to capture their information, then cross-check it with the student information, you're not collecting the student information to begin with. So you wouldn't know that. Right. That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't know that save came as a result of your program. That's what I was trying to work through your thought process.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do programs that you never see the result of your work.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of being a paramedic. You know what I mean? I mean, we've actually done really, really great things over the past year or two where paramedics are being able to find out because we can go onto our EPCR database and you can see, man, my throat. Sorry. You can see the hospitals will put in patient outcomes. And so it's kind of nice. We use it as training. We use it as CQI, all that kind of good stuff. And so that's really helped us. But yeah, I mean, to be honest though, Brian, like we're a small town. As much as we try to act like we're big town, like we're not. We're a small town. We have 4 stations. There's 37 of us, and the one that makes up the 37th is an admin captain. So 36 on the floor. Like, we're a small town. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to know when we get there, it's going to get out that this kid learned this CPR. It is. Like, we have local rags in town, Stu News, that would do a thing on it. I mean, we would find out, I think. I mean, and maybe not.
Well, I think that's good, but hopefully the seed that's planted will go beyond that. Those kids will move away. They're going to go away to college. Maybe they do a save while they're somewhere else. I mean, the reality of it is that the return on that investment of time may not be able to be captured. And that's okay. That's okay, because the outcomes of that are worth more than the accolades of the success. Yeah. And I think that if you could just come back and measure part 1 and say, hey, our goal, we know that goal 2 of that or the second measurement tool of that is way too hard. The ROI of time of that is unrealistic. It's not attainable, and it really doesn't matter. But goal number 1 is the measurement tool that needs to be done. We want to train 100% of all high school students. It's an easy thing to measure. Hey, did we hit every single class? Have we got them trained? Did we do high quality training? And if the answer is to yes of those, then you've achieved your goal. Item number 2 for a small department or even a big department, how would you do that? It would require way too much to manage. And the reason why I asked that, and the reason why I wanted to talk through it, is for those new people that you mentioned that are listening to this, that are looking for insights. Because what I don't want them to do is to walk into that chief's office and be like, hey, chief, I got this idea. I was listening to this podcast and here's what I want us to do. And then they're like, hey, I want us to be able to see that we could capture save, because how cool would it be for our program to be highlighted on TV? And it sounds good, but number 1 is it's so hard to get that maybe. The real win in all of this is providing the training. The real win is that they may be able to use it on a loved one. The real win is that they have been trained to save somebody's life. And I think that this type of program is what's successful. That's a headline all day long.
Yeah.
Whether you can find the one that they saved or not. There was a video recently, and I was going to share it with y'all on social media, of where a guy was choking in a restaurant. Did you see it? Okay, Matt saw it. He was drinking. But how cool was it? That girl was a teenager. I don't know if you saw it or not. If not, she had to have been in college. And she went around and she did the Heimlich on this guy. And she went back to doing her work. EMS.
Not allowed to call it the Heimlich anymore, by the way.
Well, whatever. But regardless of what we call it, she went back on her day, and so did he. That was a statistic that was never in your PCR.
I'm telling you, Mr. Heimlich, wherever you are, and your maneuver has saved so many lives. Because I don't know about you guys, but we get choking calls, whatever, right? However many times. I'm not even going to guess. Quite a bit. Very rarely do we ever make it on scene because somebody's there to do the chest thrust. I think it's called chest thrust now.
Whatever.
Not allowed to call it. Mr. Heimlich started suing. He's like, hey, not allowed to use my name anymore. Sorry. Now it's chest thrust.
Royalties.
Yeah, I want royalties. I want royalties from the Cool Fireman podcast. Well, good luck, buddy. Good luck finding them. Okay. We don't even sell merch. But yeah, dude, I saw that video. That was really cool. So in essence, teaching all these kids CPR is a win. And you already said it, Brian. It just is. It's just an absolute win. And it's something that you could do for your community. And to tie this all back, and I know we're not done yet, but to tie this back to the Cool Fireman podcast and the people that listen to this, if you don't have programs for your community, there's something to think about. It's very low budget. I'm talking, how much does a few mannequins cost? You know what I mean? And even if it's not right away, like put it in for the budget to buy a couple mannequins, get out and offer CPR. So we offered, I think it was before COVID, we did it like once a quarter. So 4 times a year, we put it in the local rag. Hey, sign up. We'd get like 18 to 20 people, guys. Every class from the community come down and learn how to do layman CPR. We'd spend 4 hours on a night, like from 6 to 10 o'clock, and anywhere from like 16 years old to 80. We'd teach them how to do CPR, and they were so into it, and they were so grateful for us to be there. And what a great way just to connect with your community, your customers, the people that are supporting you every day, to give back to them. It's amazing.
I still, and I love that. And I go back to the statement that you made about if you're new and you're looking for something, I still think that one of the best things you can do is look at your community, compare that to statistics, and then ask yourself, what are we doing about these high frequency events? Right?
Yeah.
And then you need to ask yourself, is this high frequency event a high risk or a low risk event? If you're running a bunch of fire alarms, it may be that it's low risk, but you still need to do something about it. And you may not have the ability to do it, right? It may be that it's a code enforcement issue or whatever. But if it's a high frequency and a low to high risk where let's say it's falls in your community, but you're running a lot of fall calls and you're like, my God, it could be not only to benefit the individual, but also morale in your department. People hate running falls. They're like, man, all we do is go to Mr. Jones and Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Smith. And, we do these lift assists because they fall. Like, what are you doing about that? Right?
I'll tell you, Brian.
You've got to create an educational program. So that goes back to, is that a you problem to fix? Or is it for you to advocate to someone else? Like, you have to dive into that and say, why are they falling? And then, is it a you fix or is it a somebody else fix? So I'm sure the comments are going to light up and they're going to say, #not my problem. But again, it could be that it goes back to, that's gnarly. Yes.
Yeah, there's nice stitches.
Nice. So it could be that, we rely on some other folks. It could be that it's senior services. It could be mobility. It could be, all these things. Yeah. It could be that you just open up your station and let senior services come and do some chair exercises to increase mobility. And you're part of
my community. Sorry.
Go ahead.
In we get tired of doing drug overdoses. So in my community, we have a anti-drug policy put in. You can't use drugs.
For the
certain drugs.
For the firemen or for the community?
For my community.
Okay.
Yeah. So nobody in my community can use or allowed to use certain drugs and stuff like that. So we prevent overdoses. And my community is the military installation.
Outside of federal law, you know what I mean?
Right. So it's really cracked down on our numbers. We still occasionally have them.
Is that right?
Yeah, because some bases, they have families that live on base with them.
This is not a political podcast, but
sorry, I made it really political. I apologize.
No, you didn't say anything political. I was just about to. I was just prefacing. So I walk out into the app bay the other day and I'm like, you know what? We haven't, like, I was checking out the box and I was looking at our drugs and I was like, you know, we haven't run in a long time is a heroin overdose. Adam's lost his life. He's lost his brain. He's like the scarecrow right now in Wizard of Oz.
He's coughing too, probably. He was laughing so hard he was coughing.
Had a brain.
Why is your eyes watering, Adam?
Because he's doing drugs.
I'm just so happy.
I walk out into the app bay and I go, how come we haven't had a heroin overdose in a long time? And dude, without skipping a beat, I think it was my engineer, goes, close borders. And I was like, oh my God. You're right. You're right. No, I don't know. I
was thinking, because you didn't save the last one.
Huh?
Wrong.
There you go. Yeah.
No, dude.
You saved the last one.
I live in a resort town, and we get people from all over the country, even from your state.
Yeah.
Your dirty state.
I've been there.
Your dirty, dirty state. They come into my state, and they
2015.
They go to the rehab centers in Laguna. Anyway, what were we talking about? Community risk reduction.
What's the next program?
So I'll tell you right now.
Trunk or treat.
Huh?
We do trunk or treat.
Okay, tell us about that.
That's it. Management tells us to go sit in the parking lot and give out candy. Then we go, what candy? They go, we don't have any. You go buy some. So we have to come out of our own pockets, buy our own candy, and go sit in the parking lot and give out candy on a certain day of the month.
So
that's our program for our department.
Adam,
that's all we do.
You tell me one department in this country that buys candy for their fire stations to give out to the kids.
We used to have a on
Leland
the space.
I love that.
We do.
At the base I'm currently at, they used to have one of those it's like American Legions, the ones about wildlife and stuff like that. Anyways, they would give the fire department candy, and they would have a freezer full of it all year long. We used to be given candy at this base, and we have so much left over. Between the commissaries and other people, they used to give us candy to give out. That's all.
My career department and my volley department both do. And the mentality that we have is that, you know, on those days when we're asking our members to be away from their family taking part, the last thing we can do is ask them to spend their own money for it. So we go into the kitty and say, hey, if you're going to do this, we can take care of that. So we do.
All right. I love that. Yeah, that's a good.
But I mean, and that goes back to the morale thing. I think is
especially now for us, we're a volunteer department.
Here we go
for the federals.
So I think for me, it goes back to I want our folks, and I say I think the community expects for us to be. I don't want to say positive, but I want us to meet them where they are and also to have that positive experience. Now, I will tell you, I've never seen a whole crew sit there and be salty at an engine visit. I have seen a couple of them be salty at an engine visit, but not the whole group. I've had one or two sitting over there with their arms crossed, not wanting to interact with the public or whatever, but that's few and far between.
So
usually it's wrong, but I mean, that's usually the person that's very,
jaded.
Has bigger problems.
Yes.
They just have bigger problems. I don't know how else to say that. Right.
Yeah, sure.
They're
projecting.
They need work. They're a work in progress usually. And so, it's part of a bigger conversation to have with them, not just that. And so, like I said, usually we find a way to turn it upside down and inside out, usually with those folks, and say, look, hey, what did that kid do?
Yeah.
Nothing. To them, you are their hero. Mm-hmm. They are one that you look up to. And
why is that, Brian?
Well, there's a lot of reasons of why. Right?
Because of all the men and women that came before us.
Yeah. But here's the thing. To the senior citizen, that you're installing the residential Knox box on or helping them with their smoke alarm, you're still their hero.
Yeah.
And so how we handle that and the perspective in which we handle it it needs to be more than just checking things off a box. And, I think you said, I don't remember if you said it in our training in Raleigh. I feel like you did. If not, it may have been when we were in Leland. But I think you said it is that you don't have to do it. You get to do it. I think I remember you saying that. And I think that that's the perspective that we should enjoy. I told that crew of new firefighters today, as I said, man, soak all this up. Like the next, some of those were brand new firefighters. Some of them had transferred from other departments. I said, but just enjoy this from a guy who comes down here and rides once a week, not because he has to, but because he misses it, right? And wants to connect with our people. Enjoy these moments. Like, soak it up. It does not get much better than this. If you're for those that are listening, if you're at a volley department, I get it. It's time away from your family, but like soak in those moments because it is a connection like none other.
No.
And when you're out there in the community and those people are connecting with you for the programs, soak that in too, right? Like I was sitting there recently at a event and the mayor came up to me and we were chatting and we said, man, we love doing these things. And she says, you do? And I said, yes, ma'am. We get the chance to share the citizens the return on investment of their taxpayer dollars. And she literally put her arm around me and she hugged me and she said, thank you. And I said, why is that? She says, because most times people come up and they complain about the money we're spending. And it's nice to know that there are people in this town that want to share the good parts of what we're doing with their money. And I never thought about it from that perspective, but how hard is that? For an elected official to have to sit there and take it on the chin all the time for the money that they spend, because you only have so much to spend and it doesn't matter because you're not going to satisfy everybody. You didn't spend it right. It doesn't matter what it is. You didn't spend it right, no matter how you spend it. So, either way.
Brian, a life of service is a purpose. Okay.
100%.
We don't get in this business to make billions of dollars. Let's be honest. Some of us make more than others, and we make a very fair wage. And that is in part to the people that came from before us that have fought and fought and fought to make this a career. It's changed the fire service. No doubt about that. The amount of money that we're making and the way that we're able to now support our families with a career in the fire service is because of those men and women that fought before us 100%. And the 100 plus 200 plus years of fire service that's been around, the trust in the fire service is because of them. Right. And we're just there to continue it. Now you got a guy that's all salty and doesn't want to give a kid candy. Like that's a problem. Like you're a problem, bro, or sister, whoever it is. Like, come on. Like really, you chose a life of service. You chose this. It chose you really. If you really want to, like, for me and my purpose, like it chose me. And I can't say that I've had so many things throughout my life, or at least throughout especially the last 3 years, that has told me that. And if you don't feel that way, move on. There's a million things you can do. The fire service doesn't need you. You know what I mean? One thing, I think we've talked about this before. It was amazing. When I was in paramedic school and I was getting ready to go on engine 29 in Dana Point, the instructor looks at us all before and he goes, just remember, guys and girls, they did it yesterday without you. They don't need you. Okay.
100%.
So let's just remember that. You know what I mean?
They'll do it after you're gone.
But going forward, let's go back to positiveness. Like it's the greatest thing ever, right? A life of service is amazing. It's amazing for your heart. It's amazing for your conscience. It's amazing for your life in so many different fashions. Like the stuff that you can't even explain with words, right? It's just a feeling. It's your purpose. It's your why. It's greatness.
So what I was going to say is, before you finish that, my person gave me a little different perspective. They said, you ever gone to a buffet and you loved it? I said, yeah. Everybody in the class said, yeah, we sure do. And they said, that's what the fire service is. They were serving before you got here. They're going to serve after you leave. The question is, what do you take off the line that you enjoy, right? There's going to be stuff here that you don't like, and there's going to be stuff that you absolutely love. the reality of it is that you need to take it in as much as you can, so that way you can enjoy it for the time that you're here. At some point it's going to end, and it's going to be here before, and it's going to be here after. And you just got to soak it all up and enjoy it. And more importantly, enjoy it together, right?
Yeah. Greatest job in the world, boys.
100%.
Going back to community, and we're almost done here because we're going to get to snail mail. But we have this program that we contract through the city. It's called Be Well, and they drive around these vans, and they're just literally there with resources to help transients, to help elderly. No, typically, it's people that we would call a state resource on anyway. So like adult protective services or child protective services, or we call them out. And it's totally taken that lifted that weight off of our shoulders. No, like we still have to, Adam, we still have to go down those avenues to make sure that they're taken care of through those types of programs. But this Be Well program for your community, I don't know if they're all over the country or not, but they've been really great for our community. And we've had them for a couple of years now, but we have them come out on, habitual, like, what we call them, frequent flyers.
Frequent flyers, yeah.
Yeah, people that are calling 911 all the time because they fell, they just need help up. But like, okay, like we're going to go out there, but okay, what's the end game? Where's your family? I don't have family. Or they're in Texas. Okay, like what's the next step? Call Be Well, and we're going to get some service out because you can't take care of yourself anymore. So they've been really
kind of like a paramedicine.
It is, but
in theory, is a different version of it, right?
They're like a mobile social worker almost. They have skills to talk to people. They have skills to say, hey, listen, because that's not easy for someone to hear, right? That's not easy. Like, hey, that's it. Like you can't live on your own anymore. And so they help us. And that's been a really good community relation. They've really bridged the gap between first responder and end game for these people. Like we need to figure something out, and it's not overnight. I mean, these people, oftentimes we got to figure, we got to get them, like we can get them from A to D, and then like they help them get D to G, but then like G to Z, like you still got to figure it out. You still got to bridge that gap. And it helps out a lot.
And I don't want to,
fantastic.
I don't want to tack this on even more, but I think this would be a great episode, like 2.0 or 128.5. But really, in those instances, community paramedicine, we had a chat where Freddie shares about how he had heard about a call where someone was being dispatched at like 5 o'clock in the morning for a bump on their leg that they wanted checked out, and it's like that's not what 911 was intended for. And so the end result of that too is that, kind of to Matt's point, is how much cheaper is it to connect people to non-expensive government resources as well? Let's talk about how this is about the government dollar too. So if we're tying up an ambulance, that costs money. If we're putting someone in an assisted care facility versus empowering them to walk and maintain independence, that's still cheaper for the government on taxpayers, right? So these services have a great return on investment for everybody.
Yeah.
So I would love for our listeners who maybe don't have these types of programs to hear some success stories about these programs and why they work in their community and how they got started. Because I think that whether you call it community paramedics, which is an East Coast thing, or a Be Well program on the West Coast, or whatever it is, and whether it's a credentialed paramedic or whether it's a social worker, whatever it is, the systems are working. And they're working to not bog down our ALS system, which is already taxed.
Yeah.
So
great systems. Great system. Community paramedicine to go out and do preventative stuff for the old folks. Are you kidding me? That's huge. I mean, not for the city, but for the state. I mean, everybody benefits from it. It's a really good program. And I wish Doug was here because his Chesterfield actually has like a actual community paramedicine program. And I'm not sure if Birmingham does with Fred, but we
have
still
one
have
in my home county.
Yeah. We still haven't instituted one here. And I think it's not too far off. I mean, I could go on and on. We have a CERT community emergency response team that we train. We do academies for the community. They come down and learn about earthquakes and fires and search and rescue and CPR and all this crazy amount of stuff. It's a huge academy that we put on. There's that. We have the ASL, the alternate sleeping location for transients, so they don't have to sleep. I mean, really, it was just to get the transients off the beach and into the canyon, but it's safer for them, right? They're in a place, they get a cot, they get a hot, they get a shower, they have the food bank there now. I mean, it's unbelievable. Then they can transition from that to the friendship shelter where they get like their own room, and then they just help them get on their feet. The statistics are still there. And I'm not going to impart my opinions on these people from what I've seen over the last 20 years, but it's pretty tried and true opinions. But it's greatness. It really is. It does take a little bit of the burden, and it helps people. And at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do, right? I mean, at the end of the day. So yeah, those are pretty much all of our programs. I mean, we do a lot. Our city's really great. So. I think unless you got anything else, we could do some snail mail.
I think it's time for snail mail. This has been good.
Let's do snail mail.
It's snail mail time.
It's snail mail time. All right. We've got one big one and then a couple small ones. So let me dial them up, okay, on the old rotary phone. Okay, you know what that is, kids? I don't think so. All right. Let's go to Zach first. So 12 hours ago. On the dot. So 6 a.m. this morning. Golly, Zach, he was on 6 o'clock this morning. On episode 127. So this was the one on Friday with Ben from Ben's Backdraft Barbecue. Did I get that right? I think you tried to call it backseat or something.
Backyard. I had it wrong.
Backyard. Unbelievable. So Zach says, great episode, y'all. I'm sauce on the side guy. If it needs sauce, it's bad barbecue. But sometimes I like a little sauce, preferably the vinegar-based stuff. Thank you, Zach. That was
Zach
good.
must be from Eastern North Carolina. Because of that, vinegar-based is an Eastern North Carolina sauce. If not, he's been to Eastern North Carolina and has come to learn to love it.
He loves it.
Adam, you were going to say something. What is your thoughts?
About the sauce?
About the sauce, yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to say?
I'm with him on that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to Texas. Texas has their own barbecue sauce, but they do get offended if you use it.
So I made this,
but don't use it.
So are you saying that like in a true barbecue? Because I've not been to like a competition, they just do rubs.
Usually it's a rub and a smoke.
And like the competition, they'll use barbecue sauce on it.
It depends on
like ribs and stuff.
I was going to say it also depends on the cut of meat. We were talking whole hog at that point. Oh, okay. I think that's what Zach was talking about.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. Like if I smoke a pork shoulder or pork butt or whatever, or even the whole hog, usually that flavor comes through. You really don't need the sauce, but Eastern North Carolina.
I could go on about just the pig itself. It's so flavorful. Yeah. It's salty naturally. Then the ham, where the legs are different than the chest. The flavor changes throughout the whole body. It's just not like a chicken or beef, which is a consistent flavor. Pork changes throughout its body.
I've only done a whole hog one time, and it was phenomenal. It was so good. So good.
Got to get you to North Carolina again and do it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it. I was fixing to give a little teaser. Ben and I may have something in the works. I'm just saying.
Oh, damn. Of course you do. Who do you not have something in the works with?
I'm not saying.
All right. Moving on. So Chief Webb on Instagram, he wanted to give some shout outs to Ben. He just said, so proud of Ben, fine young businessman with a heart to serve others. And I think that Ben really showed that in our podcast that just dropped on Friday. So if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't listened to the one with Ben, it was Ben Hooper, right?
Yes.
Okay. With Ben's Backdraft Barbecue, listen to that episode. It was really good. He's obviously an entrepreneur and a small business owner, does barbecue, the whole thing. So Chief Webb wants to make sure that he was saying that he was proud of him. On on our YouTube, James Meatling said 0540 Eastern Standard Time, heading in for shift now. And then Firefighter 1640 said yes.
That was me. So I commented underneath. Yeah, Firefighter 1640 was me.
Oh,
so I commented underneath him because if you recall, the call to action was for Kenny when we were talking about who was the first to listen. Kenny was like, "I'm the first one to listen. Don't nobody listen before me. I'm listening at like 7 o'clock in the morning." So the call to action was if you listen before, give a comment, and he did. So what was his name? Give it to me one more time. I can't remember.
His name is James Meatling. Maitling. Mietling. Maitling.
Station 3 letter.
Is that who it is?
Station 3 letter? Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's Station 3 letter.
Well, there you go. He listened at 5:40 in the morning.
Yes. Listen to that. So props to him. I was the one who commented on my personal page because I went in there and commented back to him. So on my personal YouTube. But shout out to him because when we say comment and we're going to recognize, like, we'll give you some love back. What are you doing?
If you guys don't watch our podcast on Spotify or YouTube, you're missing out. I know that everybody is like so hooked on Apple Podcasts and it's like the biggest podcasting platform on the world or in the world, but Spotify does it right, man. They show us. Did you just fart?
He did. He cracked himself.
Was that a shark?
Somebody owes me $5 now.
We have lost it. Okay, we have one more big one, guys, and then we're done. Okay, all right, everybody, hang in there. All right, Internal Inferno is his stage name. What can I? Okay, so we have the question here. We got to answer. What can I do to prepare? I am 14, wanting to be a paramedic. What can I do to prepare? And what are some classes that I could take at Texas Tech or community college? Should I even go to college? You don't have to have a college to be a paramedic. Sorry, I'm trying to read this. Just have to get your GED or a high school diploma. Please respond when you can. Thank you. So
that's like a loaded question.
It is
for a 14-year-old.
That is.
And
I mean,
you nailed it.
You're going to ask us who you can and cannot marry? What neighborhood you should live in too?
Answer his question, Adam. Answer his question.
Well, I think you should eat meat because we were saying earlier you should not be a vegan.
First of all, I think you should be a 14-year-old. And if you're a 14-year-old,
be a kid.
That means that you are probably a freshman in high school. Dude, have fun in high school. Or dudette, whoever you are. Internal Inferno. Like you're a guy or a girl, I don't know. But have fun in high school. Kick ass, take names, play sports.
Don't get arrested.
Stay clean. You have your entire life ahead of you. I know that because you've had an iPhone since you were like 6 years old. That all of a sudden like you got to be this adult and all this kind of we can still hear you when you do that. But.
I just try not to do it exactly into the mic.
Well,
so anyways, yeah.
So be a kid, man.
Be a kid. Don't use tobacco. Don't drink. And not saying that to be clean because you will develop a tobacco habit and probably an alcohol problem in the service. So just be a kid. Don't do that stuff.
I'm going
smoke
to
grits, chew chaw, and drink Coors Light. All right.
Stop.
That's how you keep hydrated with Coors Light.
So I'm going to say this. I admire his or her dedication.
Yeah.
So Friday, we went to go pick up my son, check him out of school a little early. We took a road trip. And I was completely blown away. The junior ROTC at the high school, three kids came out, a guy and two girls, to the flagpole and marched out to the flagpole and took down the flag at attention, saluted, everything. Not in uniform, but just went and did it. And these folks are 14, 15 years old. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a time and a place for it. And you're always in that interview. So, you may want to put your shop teacher down for a reference when you go to get a job interview. So yes, be a kid 110%. But like you said, don't go to jail, but also be the student in that class that teacher's willing to write a recommendation for,
Nice.
and that's what I would say. I mean, at the end of the day, you only have one life, right? You only have one. And, I was very blessed. I think I've shared this story. I grew up in a house where I had no parents present in high school. And so I don't think I've shared this on the podcast, but I'll share it. So my dad was off living in another city. We didn't live with my mom. And so there was things that went on in that house that, that we respond to. I'll just say it that way. And I was lucky and blessed to have friends that were in the fire service. And because we went to and saw the effects of those things, that was the reason why I didn't do the same things that were happening in my house, because I had no one there to stop me. I had no one to say, hey, you have a curfew. I had nothing. I had no boundaries at all. And, so I say that to say, we also live in an era where when I was 18, I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have technology at my fingertips. I didn't have the things that our kids have now. We had bullying, but it wasn't to the level that it is now, or the pressures that these 14 years old are. So to your point, have fun, enjoy yourself. Kudos to you. But like we said a couple of episodes ago, don't worry if you don't have it figured out. It's cool that you want to be that now, but also don't stick that, right? Don't let it be a nail in the wall. Make it a push pin in a corkboard of a decision, right? Like, it's a goal, but it doesn't have to be a lifelong decision either, right? So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I'm saying be a kid. I'm saying go to school. I would highly advocate to go to college. I know that we've talked about this before. College doesn't matter. Firefighters don't need college. I think it's the right thing to do. Pensions have turned, for us at least, to 57 years old. If you get a job at 21, you're working for 36 years as a firefighter. Okay. And that might be okay when you're running one call a shift or one call a month. But when you're at a busy department running fire after fire, 36 years is a long time. Go have fun, go to college. And in the meantime, find your local fire department or something like that to go do ride-alongs. Figure out, go knock on the door. Hey, how can I do ride-alongs? Oh, I have to be an EMT student. Okay, cool. Go find your local EMT class. Take EMT in high school. Those are things that you can do. Go ride-alongs. Go learn from paramedics and all that kind of stuff. But like, as far as like heavy duty, hardcore stuff, like that's going to come later. That's going to come later. You know what I mean? Like, you're 14 years old. Holy smokes.
Get a backup trade.
Yeah, sure.
That's one thing I suggest.
Yeah.
Because, one, you don't know if you could blow your knee out and you can't be a firefighter no more, or EMT. You have something to fall on immediately.
Yeah.
Well,
try to find an office job that has to go your degree of doing something. You might not be able to find it, but it's always nice to have a trade. And I just wish I did. I had was a trade to fall back on, something plumbing, electricity, welding, stuff like that. And that's a good offering you can bring to the table when you go to an EMS or a firehouse.
So 100%, and I'll add on to that. I'll put a comma there. I think it also helps prevent burnout. If you like Matt was saying earlier, you spend a lot of time, working, and it's not a lot of pay. So then you subsidize it, and then you find yourself working at another fire department, and then you get used to that extra income, and you don't want to give it up. And the next thing you know, all you're doing is spending time at the firehouse. Well, to your point, Matt, you can't do that for 36 years. Burnout comes. And so by having a trade, the beauty of it is you get to master two crafts and balance your life. And I think that's what happens, is you get to have two passions and two loves outside of family and friends.
So I love it. Internal Inferno. If you have more questions, don't hesitate to ask more questions on Spotify or YouTube or wherever. I don't know. and we'll try to answer them. I didn't answer you on Spotify yet because I knew that I was going to use you for snail mail. So I'm going to respond on Spotify that we responded to via snail mail. So hopefully you listen to this podcast and we gave you a sufficient answer. Dude, lots of great programs. If your fire department doesn't have programs, think about it. What are some things that your departments could use, like CPR, fall, whatever it is, like CERT stuff, like we were talking about, community emergency response teams. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do at a very low budget, and people that maybe in your town or in your city that would be willing to foot some of the bill. They pay for the academy that you're going to put on, whatever it is. So always good stuff, boys. That is all I have for now. Do you guys have anything to add?
I missed you.
I missed you too. Okay.
That's it. Roll it, Gigi.
Roll it, Gigi.
Before you leave, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give these firemen a huge thumbs up. Also, make sure you check out thecoolfireman.com for more. Thanks!